Welcome to this new presentation about TPM-Proxy, impossible testing at hand. What is TPM-Proxy? It's a good man in the middle. It's a software. It's a transparent proxy. It's an API and emulator. It's a network packet analyzer. It can simulate errors, let limiting responses, can do chaos engineering with it then. It can mock entire infrastructures in minutes. You can do gold standard tests, simulate an existing API, can cover several protocols, HTTP, HTTPS, SOAP, REST, everything that goes back through the web. MySQL, Postgres, MongoDB, Redis, MQP, MQTT, and in the future Kafka. Where can be run? Everywhere. It's via protocol. You don't need AOP, you don't need specific drivers, and so on. It's agnostic in respect of language, infrastructure, architecture. Just plug it in. It can run as a command line, Docker image, Kubernetes, CI/CD integration, and embedded in Java. And now, let's start. We are heading now to the protocol master samples. Here we have a series of applications in Docker that can be run directly on your machine without much ado. The practices that we will be using now falls under the name of chaos engineering. That means injecting random errors and outages inside our application to understand what happens when the things breaks. This is usually very difficult to obtain because you have to disrupt your environment. And this is the ideal target for an instrument like TPM-Proxy that can interpose itself between the real server and the user. Let's start then with the various examples. We will be working now on some chaos engineering techniques that can be applied to the protocol master. With the protocol master, we use the netcore sample application. You can see now all the containers are up and running. Here we have our standard to-do list application. We will go in debug with the network, this to check better what will be happening. Now we'll just check that everything works. Apparently all is okay. And we will open for our testing an URL to understand what is happening. We'll now open the protocol master and we'll go to the plugins to do have some fun. For example, we can work with the latency plugin. We open the latency plugin, we can see that 50% of times the latency will be between 50 and 5000, and this will work only on the netcore REST application. So let's see what happens if we start this plugin. For example, here we refresh the page. Well, we can see that 1 second response time. Oh, now the task is not arriving. 3 seconds response time. We stop now the plugin. And we are back on the millisecond response times. One other thing that we can do, always through the plugins, we can work with the error plugin. The error plugin generates, in this case, an error, a 500 error, with the 70% of times, with a 500 error code and with the random generated error string message on this regular expression target. So all the netcore REST calls to API tasks. So let's start it. Let's see what's happening. Clear everything. Now we refresh. Oh well, 500. A 500 with the response random generated error, as we were expecting. I hadn't touched my application. It's perfectly running without any problem. Let's refresh again. Well, this time it worked. It's, as we said before, it's random. Now let's stop this plugin and let's check that everything is working again. One other thing that we can do is, that is very nice for class engineering, we can work with the rate limiting plugin. If you have a rate limited API, with this you can change something. So we can do, for example, that the rate limit is 60, just to lower it, and that's it. We can set all the features. We can say that the application is impacted, the URI impacted is this one, and it will work 100% of times. Let's update the settings. Perfect. Now let's start the rate limiting plugin. Let's see what's happening. Let's refresh. And now here we are, 429. We have the response with the access credential, rate limit, retry after 50 seconds, all the stuff that I expected. Max age, rate limit reset. Now you can see that retry after 27 seconds, 20 seconds, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, oh well, 8, 0. And now we have our response with the rate limit. Let's stop again this, and everything is back to normal. One other thing that we can do is adding random errors on the protocol. For example, we can do this with the network error plugin. Let's try this. We said that 50% of time we will have the random byte inserted in the protocol. Now we can see that everything works correctly. This is the file icon that I should add somewhere. So let's start with the network error. Oh well, something bad is happening. Let's see on port A. Oh well, we can see that there is an exception here. Let's try again. Oh well, lots of exceptions. And yes, here it is. Let's stop the logs a bit. Reading from the stream has failed. Oh well. So we simulated a network error on the application. Now, let's stop this plugin. Let's retry again, and here it is. We added random errors directly on the connection. This is my GitHub page. You can find here the protocol master and the protocol master samples. The protocol master is the application itself, and the protocol master samples are the sample application that you can simply download and execute. Thank you for your attention. These are my references on GitHub, LinkedIn, Mail, and on the web. Let's see you the next time. Bye.